work that made our country what it is today. I was able to personally experience the places that I learn every day at school. Each historical place we visited, I remember for different reasons. Some were for the historical facts that we learned, but mostly it was because of the people I was with. Our bus rides with Tyler, exploring George Washington's home with Idaho Joe, Mike, Jake, Lee, and Irene, where we were positive we found an avocado that was definitely not an avocado. At my favorite place, Lincoln Memorial, I remember a ton of people because we got to visit it twice. We listened to Mike's daughter play in the band, and Sarah Parisi and Sean Pearson documented the entire thing for us. I toured the Smithsonian with Jake, Lee, and Irene, and Joe, but as Jake said, he pulled us around the entire area of Space One. We went to the American History Smithsonian where I got to see Kermit the Frog. That was really cool. My favorite day, though, had to be when we got to spend the time with just the Oregon kids, and we went through the Capitol and got to see our congressman at work. It was nice to be away from home and still see the Oregon Ducks paraphernalia in de Fazio's office. While we toured the Capitol, I came to a statue of Edward Dickinson Baker, and Mike stared at me for a good 3 minutes, trying to make sure that it hit me that this is where Baker County and Baker City were named after. It took me a while. The entire group laughed at me for a while. It was great.
Still are.
Experiencing all these historical places made many memories of what we learned, but really got to know each other on the downtime, and which we had little of, but we made the most of it. I still have great friendships today. I talk to a lot of people on a daily basis, so I'm really lucky for that. I think I speak for all the participants when I say that it is an irreplaceable experience. Not only did it extend our education, but it made us able to get out of the small communities we're all used to, because it's a rural trip. Only kids from rural areas get to go, and which will help us when we finally get to go to those colleges that are much bigger places than here. I want to thank the OTECC board, Warner Bueller, and Steve Schauer for giving us this experience, and I think this program is a wonderful experience for kids that are entering their senior year, because your senior year is learning about our government, and I got to experience every place I learned about. So, thank you.
Mount Vernon, Lincoln Monument, War Memorials, Dinner Theater, Arlington National Cemetery, Holocaust Museum, Spirit of America Cruise, Jefferson Monument, Smithsonian's, and Capitol Hill were only a few of the places that we visited and saw on the youth tour. When I received my itinerary and saw the jam-packed schedule, I started to question the sanity of the youth tour leaders. For waking up 50 teenagers at 6 o'clock in the morning, hoping they had stopped talking and gone to sleep by 2, does not seem like the brightest idea. But I can assure you, all the leaders were quite sane, except maybe Mike. As you heard from the other chaperones, or other participants, the trip was extremely educational and impactful. And I made friends I still keep in touch with today, almost a year later. Before the tour, I had an interest in history and political science, but being in Washington, D.C. generated a spark and took that interest to a whole new level. For in college next year, I now plan to major in political science. While I was back on the youth tour, I was selected to represent Oregon on the National Rural Electric Co-op Association's Youth Leadership Council, also known as the YLC. The YLC included 42 states, one representative from each state. A few weeks after youth tour, I was flown back to DC on another all-expenses paid trip for the YLC Leadership Conference. Rather than touring this trip, we spent time learning about the co-op business and how different national organizations work together to help local co-ops. While this trip was very educational in respect to the co-op business, what I found most impactful was getting to know the other 42 representatives. It truly is amazing how close you can become in a week's time. The next and final event with YLC was the National Rural Electric annual meeting last February. On this trip, we had a lot of work, and even less sleep. But I still had a wonderful time. We worked in the Congressional Action Center and other places around the convention center. The trip helped strengthen the friendships we had already created to an even higher level, making for a sad and final party at the end of the trip. Overall, my YLC experiences and U Tour were truly once in a lifetime, and I would like to thank the Oregon Trail Lecture for not only sending me on U Tour, but continuing to support and sponsor my experiences with YLC. Please join me in specifically thanking the OTECC board, Warner Buehler, Steve Schauer, and Mike Howe for their support of their program.